Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to another wonderful episode of my adventure of turning this tune into an industrialist from the beginning. So, a little bit has changed since the last time I made a video. We've learned a few more skills that are helping us. I did go ahead and do some things, but we'll go through. So, I'm now mining frigate 4, which gives me 5% mining yield as per the bonus here. So for every skill point I get 5% mining yield, so that's good. And I learned astrology 1 and astrology 2, and I believe I'm in the middle of astrology 3, and this one is another one that gives us a 5% mining bonus. So when we go ahead and look at our fitting here now, we can see that we are mining at 3.5 meters per second, or times 2, so that's 7 cubic meters per second, which is exponentially higher than what we were when we first started, which was 2. So from 4 to 7, we've more than doubled how quickly we are taking in our ore, and I can certainly tell when I'm out on the field how quickly I am filling my hold. And right now, we are just going out, we're mining. I do it a little bit throughout the day. If I take a break from work, I'll jump out there, I'll fill a hole up, and then I'll go ahead and park it. So if I was more active in doing this, I'm sure I would I'm sure I would get a lot more ore. But if we take a look at our hold here, we're sitting at 7.98, which we're going to go into, today we're going to go into kind of getting ourselves ready to move into training into a barge, which is the next step. At least going this way. If you go up this way, these are kind of covert mining. We will use these if we go into low sec, or if we do a wormhole dive or something like that. So that's another episode in itself. I will say that the prospect, if we look at this, we'll give you a 5% mining bonus for the frigate, and then also another 5% on top of the mining. And you look at down here, 100% bonus to mining and gas cloud yield. So now we're going to look at the barges. That's going to be our next step. These things can haul in some serious ore, and then once you're trained well enough into these, you want to start looking at the exhumers, which are the pinnacle of solo mining, or even when you are working. If you are just trying to earn your keep, these are where it's at. And we'll go into the purpose of the Noctis and the Porpoise and the Orca and even the Rorqual when we go further into our series here. So the first thing, how to choose which one we're going to use. The great thing about it is we're going to use our compare tool. And this is going to help us determine use case scenarios. So we can see that there is a little bit of a difference in pricing. Procurator being probably the most popular in high sec, and you'll see why when we go through these comparisons. And then next would be the actually I would say next high sec one would be the Retriever, and then after that is the Coveter, and we'll go over why that is. So first things first, we're going to go over the defenses of it, right? I think they all have the same. So they can all hold 5 light drones, which is what you need in the high sec environment. But we're gonna, since these are shield, we're gonna go shield capacity. So here we can see the first set of differences. So the shield capacity of the Procurer in high sec is 6,000 hit points. So that makes them, out of the bunch of them, the tankiest, and that's why they're used in high sec, because usually you're just trying to survive a suicide ganker until Concord arrives. When you're in low sec or high sec, or low sec or null sec, or even a wormhole, forget it. If you're caught, you're dead anyway, so there's no sense in trying to tank yourself up. So in those instances, people will use a retriever and a coveter. So now when would you use one of those two? A retriever is great for solo mining. It has, and we'll show this in a second here. So mining hold capacity is the next thing we want to look at. So retriever has a higher mining hold capacity, which means that you can hold a lot more before you have to make a trip back, and the align time on these are ridiculously slow. And we'll go over that when we're building our setups here. The coveter mines the fastest out of all three. It mines the fastest, it is the least tanky, and it has the smallest hold. The coveter is great when you're working with a fleet, because a lot of times in a fleet what you're actually doing is you're mining until your hull is full, and then you'll jettison your can, and then there's the command ship, whether it's a porpoise or a orca, that's actually collecting all of your ore. So you're just working as fast as you can to wipe out the belt, and that's the niche that the coveter fits in. Now I have done it where I will go out in a coveter and I will jettison my cans, and then I will come back in a Miamos, or however you want to pronounce it, but I'll come back in this ship here, because it has a mining hold capacity of 42,000 cubic meters. So that's one way to handle that. And you throw a tractor beam on there, you land, and you can suck the cans in and then take them back where you need to go. Some people actually have an alt that will run the Miasmo, so they'll be out there mining, they'll keep jettisoning cans, and then when it gets close to time, they'll go ahead and undock their alt, fly out there, pick up the cans, bring them back to station, and then do what they need to do with them. I am not operating with alts on this tune, so although I could, I'm not going to. Maybe not yet. Maybe for the purpose of demonstration, I might in a later episode. But for now, trying to do this tune is getting no support from any of my other alt characters, or even my mains, I guess I should say. So none of my characters are going to be supporting this one. All right, so that's where this fits. We will probably go into the retriever. I guess I should mention that when you're doing the coveter trick here, you have can flippers, right? So what they will do is they will come, they'll see the cans, they'll open the cans, and they'll try to steal your ore. Obviously it sets them up with a suspect timer, so they can be engaged, but a lot of times that is simply bait. They want you to blow them up so they can go get a ship, come back with a limited engagement, and kill you. It's it's a trap, so don't fall for it. It's whatever's in the can is not worth losing a $40 to $50 million ship. So we're going to outfit our retriever. We're going to see what we need to do to first get into a Tech 1 build, and then also what we need to work into for our Tech 2. Now with the barges, there's a change here. Oops, modules. And you do not use normal mining lasers. You actually use strip miners, right? So there's, see, I'm already 6 days, 6 hours into being able to fly this, and I think the cost of this is, oh, still under $1 million, so at least that's not bad. Right, so it's going to take us a while to get this, and we'll go over the bonuses that you get. So for every skill into mining barge, you earn 3% in mining yield. Won't apply, and then also 5% bonus to ship or hold capacity. So again, as we train into this, our hold is going to get larger. And then roll bonuses, you get 10% strip miner yield, and then we don't worry about this. Don't worry about this, not yet at least. So yeah. All right, let's go ahead and get this ship outfitted. So that we're going for the tier for the first ship we're going to go with. We know we can't use. I don't think we can use strip miners yet. If we go into show info and go to requirements, we can see, oh, we can use strip miners. Cool. However, using Tech 2 is going to require a more. Right, so we need to get to Industry 5 to use Tech 2. So for now, we're going to use our Tech 1s. And again, our low slots are going to be we're going to throw that in there, and then we're also going to do a survey equipment. Because it's good to know. We will go to the meta, so this is 36, this is 58, and this is a mill. So we'll throw a meta version on there. Now, the good thing about this is the mining upgrade, mining laser upgrade applies to this one, and we can already use Tech 2, so that is a great start for us. Let's turn this off to make sure that we remain cap stable. And even here, so 5 and 5, we're at 10, and we add 3 of these, and that puts us at 6.5, so 13. So from 10 to 13, we're hauling in a lot, but we are waiting 180 seconds per cycle, right? As opposed to right now, we're waiting 60 seconds per cycle, which, you know, that's a considerably longer amount of time. And then the rigs, what I do with the rigs is we need to, I do kind of fill this gap. So with my rigs, I will go to my shield rig. I will throw in, again, we're going Tech 1. We're trying to keep it fairly cheap because we're not working with a whole lot of cash right now. I'll throw that in, I'll throw an extender in, and then I'll also throw in something to help us align faster. Is this one? So right now we're at 15. So this is a 16-second align time. The way that Eve works is, no matter what, if I was 15.01, it's going to be a 16-second align time. If I throw in one of which is cheaper? This is cheaper, right? So if I throw this in, it changes my line time to 14 seconds, and 2 seconds can be crucial. So this is actually the build we're going to go for, and we can see that it's going to take us 6 days, 6 hours, and 29 minutes, and we're going to need probably about 60 million ISK to fly this ship. But again, we're looking at this, and hopefully the amount of ISK that we bring in is going to help us recoup that, and then get us to a point where if we lose this ship, we can quickly replace it. So that's our goal, right? We're going to buy the ship once we have enough money, and at that point we're at a point where we cannot afford to lose the ship. So we have to be very careful. We have to make sure we don't make any mistakes. Have to make sure we don't get ganked, and then we have to make enough money to recoup the money that we sold to the point where if we lose the ship, we can quickly replace it. And that can be a stressful time. So we're going to save this fit. And now we're going to actually pop these off, because we're going to go into our Tech 2. And if you get a little tight here, if you improve your mining laser upgrades, right, 5% reduction in CPU penalty. So that's usually where we have trouble here, is on the CPU not being able to fit these. And we may run into that here, but we'll see. High slots, harvest equipment. We'll go to strip miners, and we'll go to modulated 2s. Oh, and it just barely fits. What I would have done was taken off the extender and then put in something to help me out there. So the thing with this is not much of an increase, right? Actually, I think it's worse. What was it? Right, so 6.5, and then you go ahead and plug in the Tech 1. It's 5.2. Well, that's pointless. Why would you use why would you use that, right? That's dumb. Well, actually, all I need is mining 5 to use these, which isn't a horrible train. But what you can use is, now you can use charges, right? And then you can use this. And we're going to do simple asteroid. And I'll use mining type A for now, and just a tier 1. If you throw those in, now suddenly you're at 7.7. Right? And that's not even being proficient in flying the ship. That's just base. That's just base. And then if you actually go to the Tech 2 version, and this is going to take a little longer. I mean, that's almost a month build out or a month train out to get that done. Oh, did I? No, hold on. I picked coherent. I meant to do common. That's common moon. It's simple asteroid. There we are. All right, so that's a little better train time. But now we're looking at 9.3. So really a hefty goal to try and get to this point where we can use these crystals, and that's probably what we'll wait for. So we'll set up our queues so that we can actually do this, and let's see how much this one costs. That's another 390. Alright, that's not bad. So even reprocessing to 4 to level 4 gives us, but now as we get to this point, right now you see that we're training into reprocessing and also the ability to, it should be simple ore reprocessing, right? So we have to get that to 4 as well. Show info, how much, and that's even a day. But now we're getting to the point where reprocessing, where we can start to try and make that money back, or use our ore for something. And the simple crystals are good for feldspar, scordite, pyroxerus, and plagioclast. So those are all the ores that you can mine in high sec. So you don't have to train into each ore, you just have to get the simple asteroid mining crystal. And then you also have the different types. So type A uses the least amount of or creates the least amount of waste. Type B mines faster but creates more waste, and this is probably what we'll end up using. So this gives us 11.6, but again creates more waste, right? So 11.6, we'll take those out. 9.3, so big difference. And then you have the type C, which I'll tell you what we use type C for. So type, what? Why'd it go down? What did I miss here? Oh, okay. So we'll go into, and this is where we're going to residue probability and residue multiplier, right? So this is going to create, the C types are going to create a ton of waste, and the objective of these is to clear the asteroid belt, not so much get ore. So in other areas of space, usually nullsec, you may get an anomaly type of ore spawn, and the ore that's left in it is just junk ore, ore that you don't need because it's not going to give you the minerals that you want. So you use these type C crystals, and you go out to the field and you mine everything, and it mines it fast. It mines it real fast, creates a whole lot of waste. Asteroids blow up, and then what that does is that allows them to respawn. So you can now start off with a fresh belt with the type of ore that you're trying to get. So for us, though, in high sec, we are going to be using the B type. That gives us the most amount of ore mined, and it will also, right, so residue volume, so not going to double, but we have a 30% chance of creating residue. Whereas, and we'll go back to the A type here, and the A type only has a 3% chance of creating residue. Right, so this is what we're going to aim for. We're going to aim for using type B and create and do the most. Now type A, while it's slower, produces the least amount of waste, and because it produces the least amount of waste, it means you get the most out of every rock that's out there. So this is what we typically use on moon mining, so that we make sure we get the most until we're into day 2, and then we'll use type B so that we're getting as much as we can before the moon ore despawns. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and save this fit. And these are our goals. We'll go ahead and start. And this one's 65 mil, so we want to get to the point where we can replace the tier 1 as quickly as possible. If it goes down, and then it's just a matter of training up the skills to get to where we need to be. So let's go ahead and add all of this to queue. And we're not going to buy mining barge just yet because I think that was expensive. Maybe I'm wrong. Oh no, we'll buy mining barge. So we'll buy and inject that, and then we'll also buy and inject this. Okay, so now our skill queue is updated, and now we just have to go resort everything. And now we have quite the build out. I am going to ditch this and ditch this. I will move shield management probably towards the bottom. And we can't, let's see, where can we move mining barge up to? Nope, okay. So we'll move mining barge up to there, and we will also kind of want to get that done. So mining barge 3 is good. We will add level 4 to queue and just leave that after we can use Tech 2 crystals, because this is what we need to get to Tech 2 crystals. So now we've got a little bit of time, and now it's just a matter of mining as much as we can, and selling it, and saving up till we can get into our mining barge. So once we get to here, we should be able to use a mining barge. So mining frigate 5 is our longest train, and even if I were to apply skill points, you know, it takes 421 and I'm at 64, so can't rush us through that one. So it's just a matter of waiting it out now. So hopefully once I come back to create another video, we are well on our way into using a mining barge and getting ready to get back to the trade hub so that we can buy one and get it outfitted. So I will end the video there. I hope you all enjoyed, and I will see you next time.